Belinda, I don't know where you would start. That was an absolute journey for all of us, let alone for you on the court. Over 2.5 hours, punishing conditions, but you got the win. How does that feel?
Feels amazing. It feels like 170 kilo fell off my shoulders. I was so stressed. I really wanted to do well, and I don't know, today I felt so much pressure to not let my team down. And let's go now.
Belinda Bencic just ran through 8 matches in a single week and didn't drop a single one of them. Not 6, not 7, 8. While the spotlight was glued to debates about whether Iga Swiatek or Coco Gauff would run the United Cup, Bencic went low-key perfect in both singles and mixed doubles and basically carried Switzerland straight into the final. Listen to this, the WTA didn't have this on the bingo card, and let's be real, nobody else did either. So now the question is, are we watching the start of a real comeback that reminds everyone greatness doesn't belong to just the big three? Or is this simply a scorching hot week that fades when the majors roll around?
Excitement of those last couple of games in particular, but we were blown away. 5-6, 30-all, you changed the racket, you then didn't lose another point. That kind of decision-making in the moment, you have to be so proud of to realize what you needed in that tough scoreline.
Yeah, I guess finally my brain just turned off and let my instincts take over. And I think it was just a feeling, and I just played with the back against my wall. I was just really focused on myself, on breathing, and I'm super happy I stayed tough in the most important moments. But the bench, they helped me so much. Stan was helping me so much on the bench as my coach and as my husband, everyone. So I really couldn't do it today without them. I really needed the push.
Let's clear this up immediately, because this part matters. Belinda Bencic just ripped off 8 wins in a single week, 4 in singles, 4 in mixed doubles. Undefeated, not a blemish anywhere. Hold up, that's not just impressive, that's actually ridiculous. Most players would be dragging themselves across the finish line after such a demanding workload. Meanwhile, Bencic is strolling into a United Cup final against either the United States or Poland looking refreshed, as if she just clocked in from a holiday. And here's the wild part, you won't believe this. Almost no one saw it coming.
Because he came down, Martin, early on in the third, and it was like you knew what you needed in that moment. Stan was trying to put the ice towel on you. It was a real team effort today.
Yeah, it definitely was. I at times felt so overwhelmed because you feel like your bench is supporting you so much. I felt so responsible. But Martin, he knows exactly what I need, and we just have this connection, and I think that brought me over the line in the end.
The storyline going into the United Cup was crystal clear from the jump. Iga Swiatek is carrying the flag for Poland, Coco Gauff is holding it down for Team USA. Listen to this, everyone just assumed the final would turn into a shiny, headline-ready clash between 2 top 5 stars, while everyone else played background noise. Switzerland was never part of the script. Belinda Bencic definitely wasn't supposed to be the main character. And yet, here we are. And she's the last player standing without a single loss on her record. That's not a coincidence. That's straight-up dominance hiding inside a story nobody bothered to tell.
Congratulations. I'm sure the crowd wants to give you another round of applause for that incredible effort out here.
Thanks so much. Thanks. Sorry, just want to thank the crowd. Thanks so much. It's been amazing in Perth, but also now to play in Sydney. It's kind of weird to play the same tournament in 2 places, but very special. So we're really happy we're here now, and let's go now to support Stan. Thank you.
The semifinal against Belgium was supposed to be routine, simple, business as usual. Belinda Bencic handled Elise Mertens in singles and gave Switzerland the early 1-0 edge. Then reality hit. Stan Wawrinka, playing what's expected to be his final season before retirement, drops a 3-set match to Zizou Bergs. Now it's level, tension everywhere, and the entire tie comes down to mixed doubles. Hold up, this is where the pressure really shows itself. So what does Bencic do at that moment? She links up with Jakob Paul, a player who won exactly 6 tour-level doubles matches all of last year. And instead of barely surviving, they absolutely handle Mertens and Bergs 6-3, 6-1. No chaos, no theatrics, just cold, efficient work. And by the way, Jakob Paul is officially living his dream right now. A year ago, he was basically invisible in the doubles conversation. Now he's ripping down the line winners in crunch time of a United Cup semi-final, while Bencic looks across the net and calls him so brave it's unbelievable. That's not something you say to someone playing scared. That's what you say when your partner is swinging freely, taking shots that probably shouldn't land, but somehow keep landing. Bencic even admitted she kept telling him to go for it, and shockingly, he actually listened, which she joked is rare enough to mention. But listen, we have to rewind to that singles match against Mertens because it was way tighter than anyone expected. Bencic had steamrolled the tournament up to that point, winning all 6 sets in her first 3 matches. She looked untouchable. Then Mertens showed up and dragged her into deep waters. Bencic took the first set 6-3, dropped the second 4-6, and suddenly found herself in a third set that could have gone either way. Mertens clawed back from 3-1 down in the decider. She saved 2 break points that would have put Bencic up 4-1. She was literally 2 points from taking the set, with Bencic serving at 3-3 down 6-5. Those are the moments where pressure either breaks you or exposes who you really are. And Bencic? She won the final 9 points of the match. Not 7, not 8, 9 straight. And here's the wild part. She did it right after randomly switching to a freshly strung racket. Her explanation was, "My brain turned off and my instincts took over," which is either the realest thing an athlete has ever said or absolutely terrifying. The match lasted 2 hours and 37 minutes in 43 degrees Celsius heat. That's 109 degrees Fahrenheit for anyone doing the math.
Tournament organizers even started play 30 minutes early because they knew the conditions would be brutal, and Bencic still managed to power through. She won that war and immediately had to turn around and play mixed doubles. No recovery time, no reset, just straight back on court to decide Switzerland's entire tournament. And she won that too. After the singles match, Bencic said it felt like 170 kilos fell off her shoulders. She openly admitted she was stressed and felt massive pressure not to let her team down. And honestly, that kind of honesty is different. Most players would have given you a polished answer about staying composed or trusting the process. Bencic just said she was stressed and wanted to deliver. And you know what? That makes the performance even more impressive. She wasn't pretending the moment was easy. She stared pressure in the face and still found 9 straight points when everything was on the line. Alright, now let's zoom out and talk about what all of this actually means heading into the final. Switzerland is set to face either the United States or Poland. If it's the US, that means Coco Gauff. If it's Poland, that's Iga Swiatek. Either way, listen to this. Bencic is staring down a top-tier opponent who's younger, fresher, and absolutely expected to win. But here's the twist. Bencic has already logged 8 matches this week. She's already proven she can survive pressure, brutal heat, and razor-thin margins. She's beaten every single player put in front of her. So tell me, why would the final suddenly scare her now? The story around Belinda Bencic has always been complicated. She won Olympic gold in 2021. She's climbed as high as world number 4, but injuries and inconsistency have kept her from locking down a permanent top 10 spot. People respect her talent, but she's never quite crossed into that zone where she's feared at every major. This United Cup run doesn't rewrite her entire career overnight, but hold up, it absolutely reminds everyone that on her best days, she can beat anyone. And right now, she's stacking a lot of best days back to back. What's wild is how little attention this run got until recently. The tennis world was so locked in on Swiatek and Gauff that Bencic's unbeaten march barely moved the needle. Even after she won her 7th match of the week, the conversation stayed glued to the other semifinal. It wasn't until she closed out Belgium in mixed doubles that people finally looked up.
And by then, it was already too late. She was already in the final. Stan Wawrinka's loss to Bergs adds another emotional layer to this story. This is Wawrinka's final season, his last United Cup, his final opportunity to help Switzerland win a team competition, and he couldn't get it done. That's not shade, that's just reality. Bergs played well,
broke Wawrinka at 4-3 in the third set and sealed it 6-3. Stan emptied the tank, but it still wasn't enough, which meant the entire tournament rested on Bencic and Paul in mixed doubles, and they delivered. The fact that Bencic is unbeaten in mixed doubles this week might actually be more impressive than her singles run. Mixed doubles is chaotic. You're depending on a partner you barely practice with. Communication has to be instant. Game plans change on the fly. And Bencic has navigated all of that without dropping a single match. That's not just skill. That's adaptability. That's leadership. That's knowing when to trust your partner and when to take the load yourself. And Jakob Paul deserves real credit here too. This is a guy who wasn't on anyone's radar a week ago. Now he's a borderline cult hero in Switzerland. And when Bencic says he's brave and actually goes for shots when she tells him to, that tells you everything. He's not playing it safe. He's playing to win. He's gambling on shots, and those gambles are cashing in because Bencic is setting the table for him to thrive. That's high IQ doubles tennis, and it's translating at the absolute highest level. Now layer in the conditions, because Sydney has been straight up unforgiving. 43 degrees Celsius isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. Players all week have been visibly cooked by the heat. Matches have been pushed back. Others have been rescheduled just to dodge the worst of it. And through all of that, listen to this. Bencic hasn't complained once. No excuses about the heat, no talk about fatigue. She's just kept stacking wins. That level of mental toughness is rare, and it's exactly what team competitions demand, where one slip ends the entire run.
Now here's the uncomfortable part. Most people still don't believe Bencic is winning the final. If it's Gauff, the thinking is that her speed and power will overwhelm her. If it's Swiatek, the assumption is that her consistency and shot tolerance will be too much. But those assumptions completely ignore what Bencic has already shown this week. She's beaten everyone in front of her. She's won comfortably, and she's survived wars. She's delivered under pressure in singles and in doubles. So why would that suddenly stop now? The obvious answer is fatigue. 8 matches in a single week is no joke. Even if she feels fine today, that kind of workload eventually shows up. Muscles tighten, reactions slow, focus slips, and Gauff or Swiatek will absolutely arrive fresher with fewer miles on their legs. That's a real edge. But hold up, it's one Bencic has already neutralized multiple times this week. She's been the underdog more than once and won every time. Asking her to do it one more time doesn't sound crazy anymore. What really makes this United Cup run hit is the timing. This isn't some throwaway tournament buried in October. This is January. This is the season's opening statement, and Bencic is making hers loud and clear. She's signaling she's back, she's healthy, and she's ready to compete with anyone at the top. Whether that carries over into Grand Slam results is still an open question, but right now, she's checking every box. The WTA should be watching closely, not because Bencic is suddenly about to dominate the tour, but because her run proves something bigger. Depth matters. The spotlight always stays on the top names, but events like the United Cup remind us there are real threats outside the top 5. Bencic is one of them, and when she's healthy, confident, and rolling like this, she's a problem for anybody. The final is must-see TV no matter who Switzerland lines up against. If it's Gauff, we're watching the young American superstar try to defend her country's crown against a Swiss player who hasn't put a foot wrong all week. If it's the world number 2, then it's a resume check. Prove that ranking against someone who's already steamrolled 4 opponents without a single loss. Either way, listen to this. Bencic has already won. She's already blown past expectations. She's already reminded everybody she deserves to be in these elite conversations. But hold up, here's the real part. Bencic doesn't just want to be included, she wants the trophy. And based on everything she's said and shown this week, she truly believes she can take it. That confidence isn't ego, it's evidence. She's put the work in, she's embraced the pressure, she's delivered every single time. One more match isn't going to intimidate her. The mixed doubles angle could end up deciding everything again. If Switzerland needs Bencic and Paul to close it out one more time, they've already shown they're capable. But doing it twice in one weekend against top-tier competition is a tall order. Paul has been excellent, no doubt, but he's also been riding a wave of surprise momentum.
Does that momentum carry into a final, or does championship pressure expose the cracks? At some point, Bencic can't do it alone. Paul has to step up on his own terms. What's undeniable is that none of this was supposed to happen. Switzerland wasn't meant to be here. Bencic wasn't supposed to be flawless. Paul wasn't supposed to be a difference maker. And yet, here they are, one win away from a United Cup title almost nobody predicted. That's the magic of team events. They thrive on chaos. They reward depth. They punish anyone who gets comfortable. And they give players like Bencic the spotlight while everyone else is looking elsewhere. The WTA is stunned because this wasn't in the script. The headlines were supposed to belong to Swiatek and Gauff. The final was meant to be a clash of heavyweight nations. Switzerland was supposed to bow out with a nice story in the semis. Instead, Bencic flipped the entire narrative. 8 wins, heat conquered, team carried, all while making it look almost easy. One match remains, one last hurdle between Bencic and a United Cup championship. One more chance to prove this week wasn't some lucky run. And honestly, after everything we've watched, betting against her feels reckless. She's been perfect so far. Why would that suddenly stop now? Belinda Bencic just went a perfect 8 for 8 at the United Cup, and nobody had it on their bingo card. Now she's one win away from a title everyone assumed would end up with Swiatek or Gauff. And if you think this story is already crazy, just wait until the final. Hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss how this finishes.